because 95% of your decisions are not made by your conscious mind. Here is the dark truth that nobody tells you before your first relationship. Before you can manifest the right person, you have to understand why you kept choosing the wrong one. Someone you know is in the wrong relationship right now. They just don't know it yet. Open Instagram right now, and I guarantee somewhere in your feed there is a news about a couple. A man killed his wife. A girl pushed her fiancé off the cliff with her lover standing right there. A husband left a 24-page note before ending his life because the women he married made every day feel like a war that he could not win. These are not horror movies. These are the real people, the real names and real headlines. Sia Goel, Lowergut Fort, June 2026. She had visited the fort twice before with her lover, doing practice runs for the day she should push her fiancé off the edge. Atul Subhash, Bengaluru, December 2024. A 34-year-old engineer, 120 court hearings, 9 cases filed against him. A 24-page note that ended with words, "This ATM is now closed." He was a human being, not an ATM. But nobody woke up on their wedding day expecting this. Nobody said, "I do," believing it would end in a cliff or a courtroom or even a coffin. So here is the question that should be sitting with you right now. How did they choose so wrong? And more importantly, are you sure you won't? Because in the next 11 minutes, I am going to show you something nobody in these news discussions is talking about. Not about the crime, not the court case. The decision that happened years before any of this, when someone chose the wrong person. And the specific science-backed method to make sure that decision goes right for you, stay. Because this one might actually save your life. Let me tell you why people end up in the wrong relationship in the first place. It is not because they are stupid, and it is not because they are unlucky. It is because one single thing. They chose with their eyes open and their subconscious completely asleep. Here is what I mean. When you meet someone, within seconds, your conscious mind starts collecting the data. Are they attractive? Are they funny? Do they have a good job? Because 95% of your decisions are not made by your conscious mind. They're made by your subconscious, which is running a completely different checklist based on your childhood experience, old wounds, and patterns you don't even know that you have. For example, this person feels familiar. This person makes me feel safe, even though they actually make me feel small. This feels like love, even though what I am actually feeling is anxiety. Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer this honestly. Think about the last person you were attracted to. Now tell me, were you attracted to who they actually were, or to who you hoped they would become? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. Here is the dark truth that nobody tells you before your first relationship. Your subconscious mind is not looking for the right partner. It is looking for a familiar partner. And sometimes familiar means broken in exactly the shape that fits your damage. But this is the insight that changes everything. You can reprogram that subconscious filter. Before you ever swipe right, before you ever go on a first date, that reprogramming has got a name and you have got to choose it. It is called conscious manifestation. I am not talking about candles or crystals, not even writing someone's name on a piece of paper and burning it. A deliberate, specific, scientifically grounded process of deciding in your mind first exactly who you are going to choose before they even arrive. According to relationship researchers, they research on the specifications, they read the reviews, they even compare models. But their partner, they decided in a feeling, in the moment, in a rush. And sometimes that rush pushed someone off a cliff. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Manifestation? Like really? In a video about murder and abuse? Stay with me, because this is where it gets important. The word manifestation has been buried under vision boards and Instagram trends. But at its core, manifestation in relationships is nothing more than this. Knowing what you want before desperation makes the decision for you. Let me say that again. I want you to hear it clearly. Knowing what you want before desperation makes the decision for you. Because here is what really happened in every one of these tragic news. Somewhere, years before the cliff, before the courtroom, before the 24-page note, someone said yes to a person they had red flags about. But they were lonely or afraid, or society was asking, when are you getting married? And so they said yes anyway. That is the opposite of conscious manifestation. That is unconscious selection, and unconscious selection has consequences. Think about it in this way. If you order a food at a restaurant without looking at the menu, just pointing randomly and saying whatever, you might get something edible, or you might get something that makes you sick for the rest of your life. Your relationship is not something that you want to, whatever your way into. So what does conscious manifestation of a partner actually look like? It has got 3 steps, and I am going to walk you through all of the 3. But before I do, I want you to do one thing right now. I want you to pause and think of the most important quality that you want in a partner. Definitely not looks or money, not even career. The feeling you want to have in their presence. Safety, adventure, peace, or growth. What is that particular thing for you? Tell me in the comments, because your answer to that question is the beginning of this entire process. Step 1 is the one people skip, and it is the most important one. Before you can manifest the right person, you have to understand why you kept choosing the wrong one. Not to shame yourself, but to protect yourself. Here is the question that I want you to sit with it seriously. In your past relationships, what was the pattern? Not what was wrong with them, but what was the pattern? Did you always end up with someone emotionally unavailable? Or someone who needed saving? Or someone exciting at first and exhausting by the end? Here is why that pattern keeps repeating. The brain's limbic system, the emotional center, is wired for pattern recognition. And when something feels familiar, the brain releases dopamine. Not because it is good, only because it is known. This is why people raised in chaotic homes are often attracted to chaotic partners. Not because they want chaos in their life, because chaos feels like home to them. And the only way to break a subconscious pattern is to first name it consciously. Therefore, your first step in manifesting the right partner is this. Take a piece of paper, write down every significant relationship that you have had. Next to each one, write one word for how it made you feel the most of the time. Be it anxious or small, or hopeful but tired, excited but unsettled, whatever it is. And now, look at those words, and that is your pattern. And once you see it, you can choose differently. Most people manifest a partner the way they order at a buffet in the dark. They grab whatever is the closest and hope for the best. But here is the truth about specificity and the subconscious. Your mind cannot move towards a vague target. A GPS needs a specific address, not just somewhere nice. Your subconscious works exactly the same way. Before I give you this step, I want you to know this. Have you ever written down exactly what you want in a partner? Not like a general wish, but a real one, a detailed one, a specific list. Type yes or no in the comment section right now. Most people have never done this, and then they wonder why they keep landing in the same situation. Here is the step. Sit down, preferably in the morning when your brain is the freshest, and write this out. Not just the qualities, the feelings. It should not be that I want someone tall and successful. Instead, write it like this. I am grateful and at peace in my relationship. My partner makes me feel safe enough to be exactly who I am. When we disagree, we work towards each other, not away. I feel respected. I feel chosen. I feel like a person, not a resource. I want you to read that last line again. I feel like a person, not a resource. Because Atul Subhash Case, in his final note, described himself as an ATM, not a husband, not a father, an ATM. And no one should ever feel that way in a relationship. And the way to prevent it is by deciding in advance what is that chosen feeling actually looks and feels like for you before someone walks in and offers you a a counterfeit version of it. Write your vision every single morning 3 times and read it with the feeling. Let your subconscious start filtering the world for that feeling. The way a camera focuses on one face in the crowd it has been shown to find. Here is the step that separates manifestation from wishful thinking. You can write the most beautiful vision in the world, but if the person you are describing would never choose who you currently are, then there is a gap to close. And closing it is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming intentional. Ask yourself this honestly. The partner you described in the step 2, the safe, emotionally mature, growth-oriented person, would they be attracted to the current version of you? Not to be harsh, but just to be honest. Because manifestation is not a magic trick that brings someone to your door while you do nothing. It is a process that changes who you are until you naturally attract and recognize what you are looking for. The people in these tragic news stories were not just unlucky. In many cases, they were operating from fear. Fear of being alone or fear of disappointing family. Fear that this was the best that they could get. And fear is the opposite frequency of what draws the right person to you. Therefore, the final step of manifesting the right partner is not about finding them. It is about becoming someone who no longer settles from fear. Someone who has done the inner work to know that I know what I want and I know what I will not accept. I will wait for what I actually deserve, not what I'm afraid that I will never get. That clarity, that internal shift is what changes who shows up in your life. And that is not a coincidence. It is the cause and effect. Tell me something in the comments. What is that one thing about yourself you're currently working on so that you can show up fully into your next relationship? I want to read these, so drop them below. And let me leave you with this one. Every week, a new headline drops. Another person is hurt, another relationship gone wrong, another story that should have been a life turned into a tragedy. And every time the comment sections are full of people saying, how did they not see it coming? But the honest answer is, most of the time, the signs were there. They were just chosen before the person was ready to see it clearly. Choosing clearly, choosing consciously is a skill. Unlike every skill, this can be learned. You can learn to know yourself well enough to recognize your own patterns. You can learn to get specific about what you actually need, not just what you think you should want. You can learn to close the gap between who you are and who your ideal partner would choose. And you can do it before the wrong person walks in and feel familiar enough to say yes to. The people in today's headlines were real. They had families who loved them, dreams they were working towards, and the future that they believed in. But a single wrong relationship changed everything for them. Don't let that be your story. So start tonight. Take a piece of paper, write down the feeling you want in your relationship, not the resume, the feeling, and start building towards that, one day at a time. If this video made you think, even for a second, about who you are choosing and why, please share it. I'm not asking for the views, but because someone in your circle right now is in a relationship they know it is not right for them and they need to hear this. If you like this video, then subscribe to the channel for more.